Hello, welcome to ResoCoder. So what is dependency injection, why should you care, and how to use it? We are going to find out in this video. In its core, dependency injection is actually really simple. It means that you don't construct classes directly in other classes, so you don't instantiate classes directly, so to say. You don't create objects directly, but you pass those objects to other classes through the constructor. Thus, dependency injection, because you inject dependencies, you pass them to the constructor. Sometimes you don't pass them to the constructor because you cannot, for example on Android, where you just cannot basically access the constructor of an activity or of a fragment. There you have to get them by different means, and I have a separate tutorial on doing dependency injection on Android with the framework Codin for Kotlin. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out from the card in the corner. So the core idea of dependency injection is that you should not take care of dependencies yourself. And a dependency is just something that another class depends on. For example, I don't know, maybe repository from the repository pattern depends on API service, some API service, right? And on some reference to class which handles local database. So local database and the API service are dependencies of the repository class. And the repository class should not instantiate them directly. It should not care. It should just define them inside the constructor and then let something else magically, somehow magically, so to say, take care of those dependencies. And that is what dependency injection frameworks are for. For Java there is Dagger, then there is I don't know what, but for Kotlin there is, for example, Codin or Coin and other things like that. For Dart there is, at least for Flutter, there is, it's not really dependency injection because you can do dependency injection in Flutter through inherited widget, but there is also a separate, so to say, framework called Kiwi, so that is also really nice to have that in Dart and in Flutter. With all of these frameworks, you have one single place, mostly single place, to define all of your dependencies. You write your code that, all right, this is a class which should be instantiated. You don't tell that class where it should be instantiated. You just somehow like throw it inside some kind of a bag, and then that framework can take it out from the bag and push it somewhere where it's needed. So you don't even care where it's needed when you write that, all right, this can be instantiated. You just write that, all right, this can be instantiated, and do something with it as you please. And then you only concern yourself with writing that inside the class. For example, in the repository, as I already mentioned, that, all right, this repository needs this and this, but you don't care how it gets there. You just care that it actually gets there, but you don't care, you don't care about the process of it getting there. And why should you even care about dependency injection? Because it's really just a bunch of overhead stuff. You don't really need to do that, right, to code. You can just create instances of your classes directly in other classes and call it a day, right? Well, that is certainly correct for really simple applications, but as soon as you do something more complex, and especially if you want to do testing, if you want to do test-driven development, for example, about which you can check out the separate tutorial from the card in the corner right here. So if you want to do something like that, it becomes a bit of a problem if you construct dependencies directly inside your classes. In testing, you most likely want to pass some form of a mock object, and mock objects are nothing else than simplified versions of an object. For example, if you have that repository and you have that API service which fetches from the API, in tests you probably don't want that API service class to fetch from a real API. You just want to have some dummy data, some JSON dummy data, which is present on the device, so that you can always have the same kind of data returned inside the tests, so you can actually test it properly. Because if you don't know what kind of data will be returned from that API, well, you cannot test it, right? So you want to have something stable inside the tests. But in the production code, you want to have the real API because there is no point in having the user of the app just see constantly the same result of a search or of something else, right? So basically, you want to have two versions of your code, so to say. One should be for production release mode, so to say, and then another one should be for development, for testing, where you have constant responses from your API, right? And while that would be pretty hard, if not impossible to do if you're not doing dependency injection, you would need to have a bunch of if-else statements, and I don't know, you probably ain't even going to do that with not dependency injection approach. But with dependency injection, what you can do is basically when you are just always passing something to the constructor, and you can just create interfaces for that API service, and that interface is going to be unified, right? Because interfaces unify different classes because they need to share the same interface. That's the purpose of interfaces after all. And therefore, you can have one class, which will be the production API service, that will implement that interface, that API service interface, and that will return real responses from some kind of a server. But for testing, you are going to create a separate class or even use some mocking framework to do that for you. And you are basically going to return always the same responses. And then you can just pass that testing instance to the repository as you would pass the production instance to the repository. And the repository doesn't care because the interface fits. Alright, so if this video helped you to understand dependency injection, and if you learned something new, give it a like and also share it. If you don't want to miss more videos like this, definitely subscribe to this channel and also hit the bell button so that you are actually going to be notified about every new video that I upload. And if you have anything to say, leave it in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and see you in the next video.